So many times people ask me what tools I am using for scheduling meetings or to even run the design studio. And since last Wednesday, I believe, I created a video on how I'm using Elementor as one of the tools now to create our websites and whatnot. I thought about giving you at least 10 of the tools that I believe I am using almost every day to be able to get projects, to be able to run projects with my partner who is a project manager, and to be able to interact with clients in a very seamless way. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
And it's a ticket talking margin for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma.
Hey guys, what's good and welcome to another video. My name is Leopoldo Perella and I do videos about web design, UX design, and the overall design process, as well as sharing some of my journey through building the design studio and some of the tools and tips I recommend that you should be using so that you can get some success in your design business. So I think there are about 10 tools that I've been using almost every day. And I use this to interact with clients, get clients, work with my partner who is a project manager, and then deliver everything to the client within these tools. So I think the first one that I would like to talk to you about is Coda. The reason for this is that in Coda, we sort of created our own CRM, which is a customer relationship manager. And what we do here is that we like to keep track of everything that we do, interactions with clients, who we email, their names, websites, pretty much everything you can think of. And then we're able to move them from, we email them today, tomorrow they probably had a meeting with us, the next day we send them a proposal, following by, we either close it or won the project, lost the project. Now you can do this with stuff like HubSpot or Zoho CRM, I believe, but because we are sort of used to working with Coda now, we prefer to sort of do it there, and then we can all just jump into it and be able to see everything together. Which then brings me to the next one, which is Gmail. And I would really recommend that you try to keep all your interactions with clients online. The reason for this is that you want to make sure that you can read emails from like 3 months ago when you got a brief for the project, so that you can compare it to the project that you're about to deliver. And you're also able to communicate with them in a way that also gives them some room to breathe before they're able to answer you. And the reason for this is that when you give someone a text message or you send them something on WhatsApp or you call them right away, they don't really have time to think. So what would happen though is that probably the communication they get back to you may not actually be what they wanted to do or where they wanted to move towards too. So if you send them an email, you are able to track it, but you also are able to give them time to think about the answer, and also when they send it back to you, you have time to think about the answer. The next thing that we have been using, and I think this one really made a huge difference, is it's a software for proposals. And why do I say that this made a big difference is because I learned something, and this is that clients don't really care about a 40-page proposal unless you're going to be probably doing something for like Facebook or IBM, who wants to see like an entire process for a UX design project that might be a couple $100,000. But if you're doing anything between $1,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 projects, your clients don't really care about a 50-page proposal. And actually, I'm gonna do a video about this. If you give them something so long, what will happen is that this will create another negotiation on their side, and then this proposal will either be lost or the price will drop quite a lot. So what we are using is that we are using something called GoProspero, and this was something owned by Rand Segal, who was the person who taught me a lot about Webflow and whatnot, into another company. And what it allows us to do is that we have a template now that we know that we can use for website design, one that we can use probably for like logo design, branding, or anything like that. And we're able to just fill in all the information based on the conversation we have with a client, not with anything new, and just send it their way so that once they read it, we can see that they have read it, which I don't know if many of them know that we can see that. But this allows us to see like, okay, well, they actually did read the proposal, And then to sign it, all they have to do is sign the proposal in the link that we sent them. No need to print, no need to go back and forth and whatnot, trying to see where to sign or anything like that. If they do have any questions, they go over to Gmail, they send us some questions, we give them the answers, and if there's anything that we need to update, it's very easy to just update the document on our end, and it will automatically update on their side. The next thing that we have been using is Calendly, and this one is also a lifesaver. The reason for this is that so many times we try to find a time to meet with a client, and especially if everyone is busy, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to find a time to be able for it to work for them and for it to work for you. So what will happen is that you will send an email, hey, can you meet tomorrow? Tomorrow is busy for me. Okay, well, how about you? Then they might say, can you meet on Friday? Well, Friday is busy for me. Okay, so then you go to Monday, and this can go on forever. So what you sort of want to do is that you want to give them your availability, and this is also shows that you are busy, so they need to respect your time. But there will also be some times when the client themselves have a calendar link, and what they will do is that they will send it to you and be like, can you either tell me your time or send me your link, or here are the best times that work for me. So this whole process about trying to find a time to meet or to do anything like that is pretty much just in the past, and now you can actually just click on a specific time and it will set up everything for you. What we like the most about this, and one of the things that I did even before COVID, is that I sort of stopped having in-person meetings. To be honest with you, I think in-person meetings can become a bit of a waste of time because it requires us to travel, it requires driving, and then just waiting, and if they're in their office space, people might come and ask them questions, so time will just fly by before you even get into the meeting. And if it's the other way around, the client might not feel as comfortable in your own office space. So being able to do everything online through Zoom or Google Calls or anything like that is much better. So with Calendly, when someone books a meeting with us, everything happens right away. So they are sent to the calendar, they are also sent a link to the meeting and reminders, so that half an hour before our meeting or an hour before the meeting, they are getting a reminder on their phones and on their emails, so they can't forget that they have a meeting with us. Next thing that we do once we have set up everything, we have our meetings, we know that we close the project, we know that we have added them to the CRM, is that we go ahead and Google and we create shared folders. And these shared folders are going to be stuff like the content that we need for the website design, the code that we're going to be developing for the website. We will drop them in a folder called website development. Any photos that we're going to need, videos, anything like that is just going to be directly dropped into any of these folders. And when we're working with a client who needs like a deck, or they need something where we all have to work together with their team, with my project manager and myself, this is also where it all happens, because we're able to create everything in a very seamless way. And I think one of the tools that we have been, I think it has been about a couple of months or 2 months since we started to use, is Notion. And Notion is also very much like Coda. They pretty much, if you ask me, they do the same thing. The reason why we are using both is because I had already created everything on Coda, so now I have to find a way to recreate it on Notion. But Notion sort of gave us like the project management aspect of things. So, Sarah can come into Notion and see like all the tasks that I have completed. If she finds there are certain things I need to go for review, it's easy for her to just move them around, leave comments, do anything like that I need to see on a day-to-day basis, to know what I'm working on, the tasks that I need to be completed, what has a higher priority, what is a lower priority, so I know I can leave that for the end. And like this, we're able to create or to even finish projects way ahead of time. And then, of course, to be able to do any of our creative work, we use Adobe Collection, or the Adobe Suite Collection, I believe that's what's called. So things like, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, where I'm editing this video right now. We're using Adobe XD, where we design every website or every interface for apps, for web apps, for pretty much anything that we do. And even the thumbnail for this video can actually be created on Adobe XD. What I also like about Adobe XD is that it allows me to save things on the cloud. And what this means is that I can log out from my computer, which I have two behind me, I don't know if you can see them, but I can go from one which is not such a powerful computer, and then just go to my other computer and just sign in and be able to continue my work. Let's say for some reason I went away and I wanted to check something on Adobe XD file that I did before. Because I saved them to the cloud, I can just use someone's computer, log in into my account, do any changes on the file, and then log out. And this way, the file will be updated everywhere. I think one of the another great tool that we found is Elements by Envato, and this has like an endless library of resources that you can use from, music for the videos. Like the music for this video right now is from there. Presets for Lightrooms, like let's say you're doing some photography for your clients for their website and you want it to look a specific way, then this is where you can get some of those amazing presets. Once you pay for the monthly, I think it's a monthly package or a yearly package, then you're able to access, I think it's like hundreds of thousands of resources that you can use for all your projects. The only thing I will recommend that you do is to always make sure you read your licenses and see how you can use this for a client. If they can use it after this, you have given them the project, and how you can use it when you're creating content like this, so that you never get in problems or that your videos don't get like put away from YouTube because you broke some license agreements. Once everything is completed, we go back to Google Drive, and this is where we put everything we created. If we created icons for the client, we go ahead and put them on Google Drive in a folder. If we all the designs we created on Adobe XD, all of that drops into Google Drive. If we created a website on Webflow, we export the code and we put it on Google Drive. If we create a website on WordPress, we create a backup of the website and we drop it on Google Drive. This way, everything is there. We know exactly where to come and find anything that we need in the future. Let's say we're working with a brand, we did a deck for them today, but maybe next month we have to do a website for them. We know exactly where to come in to get all the content that they will need. So these are I think it was about 9 or 10 tools that I'm using every day. So I'll recommend you to look into them. I do have a link on my website called Recommended Tools, which I'm sort of putting more every day. There you can actually see them. You can actually just click and go directly to the website. Some of them will have discounts once you come from my website. So I'll recommend you to check it out and then try them out. Let me know what you think about them. If you have any questions about them, also let me know and I will try to answer them all. I hope you enjoyed this content. Don't forget to hit the bell button and the subscribe button so you get a notification anytime I post the next video. And thank you for watching. I will see you again in the next video.